Are you ready?
Agility from the champion. Oh, deep six! That could be it. Delivered this deep six.
This is episode 151. We are moving along, and today I am joined by Brandon, aka Baz. Brandon, how you doing, man?
We're good. We're good. Definitely getting ready for an exciting next couple of weeks. Not WWE related, but life and a bunch going on. So can't wait for all that. I got concerts and MMA events, and work is gonna be crazy because Memorial Day and everybody looking for deals. So can't wait for an exciting 2 weeks or so.
Nice. I hear you. I am coming off of a brutal week. This week is a lot better. I am off tomorrow, and guess what? We are doing an AEW review show tomorrow. Our AEW co-host Shiv will be hopping on tomorrow, and we will be covering AEW. We got to give AEW some love.
What a
They've been
name!
doing some good stuff on Dynamite, I must say.
I like his name, Shiv. Very cool.
The Shiv. I'm gonna throw a "the" in there. The Shiv.
Very nice.
But it was a busy week last week. And hey, guess what? Guess what I just picked up when I told you I was going to Target before.
I'm gonna go cards, trading cards.
No. But you're not far off.
Figurine, wrestling figure.
Basically. So
Let's see it.
I picked up the 3 of the second wave. So
Very cool.
I got King Kong Bundy. That is the blue carded King Kong Bundy. I got Jesse the Body Ventura.
Wow.
So I got him. And I gotta tell you guys about something really quick too. And then, of course, Stone Cold Steve Austin. I got those. As soon as I get the Warrior, I will do a quick YouTube video on my 4 pickups. But
I like that.
the John Cena one, which you could have gotten at Target for $25, is now going for about $100 on eBay.
Oh wow.
Yeah. The Hogans, the Logan Paul, and the what was the other one? And the Dusty Rhodes. They are going for about like mid-range between 30 and 40 on average. You can't get them in stores anymore. And these are kind of big too. Like these are like I would say they stand about 6 inches tall, just about. So, and I'm kind of like, I want to take them out of my package. Like, I want to take them out of the package and display them on a mantle or something. I just don't have crazy room for that right now. But I feel like these would be great collector's editions. And they are coming out with Wave 3, which is going to feature Jelly Roll, The Rock, Jake the Snake, and I forgot who the 4th one was going to be. But we got a comment here. Let's see. The new WWE Monday Night Raw on ESPN, Netflix. Okay. Yeah, that's what it is. Raw is on Netflix, and Friday Night SmackDown is on Fox. It's not a Fox. It's on USA. But if you have NordVPN, which I paid for 2 years, an average of $2 a month, you can switch your NordVPN through NordVPN or any VPN browser of some sort. You can switch your VPN from the US to another country, and then when you click on another country's VPN, all your WWE stuff will show up right on Netflix. So
Not a
I
sponsor?
watched Backlash on Netflix.
Sorry, not a sponsor.
Yep.
uh,
I've watched last night's Raw. Well, that's on Netflix, but basically just about ad free. I watch SmackDown on Netflix every single week. So NordVPN is where it is at. Everything's all on Netflix. Saturday night's main event,
yeah.
NXT, you
Okay.
name it, it's there.
That might have to happen because I'm starting to get very annoyed with the ads, and I see that a lot of people in the wrestling community have agreed with me that they have continuously shown the exact same shtick week after week, where it's 2 minutes of back and forth wrestling, maybe a third minute, and then a 3 minute ad, and then maybe 5 minutes of the end of the match, and then we're back to an entrance or something backstage, and then 3 minute ad, and then come back 3 minutes of nonsense, 3 minute ad. It's just mind boggling. It's a 2.5 hour show, and an hour of it is advertisement. It's getting annoying.
Yeah, it's very bad. It's very bad for sure.
And it's the same. It's the same ads too. So yeah, I think I might hop on the VPN movement because that sounds fun.
It'll definitely help out for sure. I mean, I would say like 80% of the time there's no ads, and then most of the time, like if you're watching live, instead of going to ads all the time, it'll fade out and then fade back in, and then you see everything that's going on during commercial break, and then it'll fade back out and then fade back into the what everyone else is seeing. So it's pretty cool. Sometimes you catch a couple random interviews that you won't see live, or you'll see Danhausen come out and throw in T-shirts or something random. And then another rule of thumb is, like if you're watching on Netflix or something like that, what I usually do is if I know I'm behind, like I'll just fast forward like an even 3 minutes, and then as long as I catch it before it fully fades out into commercial, I'll hit that fast forward for 3 minutes, and then I skip the ads. So
True. That doesn't allow that for regular Netflix on my Xbox. You have to watch the whole 3 minutes, but it just shows it at a two as a 2.5 hour product. So it doesn't matter if you go forward, you can't get past the ads. So yes, I had to sit for 2.5 hours this morning watching Raw.
yeah, I think you would definitely benefit from a NordVPN.
I like it.
Yeah, I'll have to send you the proper link where you get the discount.
Real quick
Yeah,
before we start, Spurs have won Game Five pretty commandingly by a score of 126-97.
that's pretty commandingly. I would say that's 29 points.
Wemby puts up 27 of those 29 with 17 rebounds. The dude is an absolute freak.
He better grab rebounds with that height.
That is true. But to be able to do, I mean, last game, well, he got thrown out last game, but yeah, the games before 15, 15, 15, and now 17. That is insane. Yeah. So, yeah, the Spurs definitely kicked some butt in game five. They now took the lead, and I believe we go back to Minnesota and go Knicks. Knicks in four. Easy sweep, get the brooms, as well as the Thunder swept. And Cleveland. What did Cleveland do? Cleveland plays tomorrow
Yeah,
in
that
game
says
five.
2-2, and I think that goes back to Detroit. In
Yes,
which
goes
the
back to
Knicks, if Knicks get Detroit in the Eastern Conference Finals, Knicks have not beaten Detroit once this season.
we love motorcycles going by. Yeah, now I'm a little afraid of. I'm afraid of both teams in that one, honestly. But I think we could slow down an old James Harden, and really it would just be Brunson versus Mitchell at that point. And I think
But not to mention, you
I'd
got
be right.
Jared Allen on that team too, who's very good.
Yeah, but I think Cat is a way better scorer than Jared Allen. I think Jared Allen scores in bursts or like has one or two good games. Cat can consistently put up 15 points every game. As a center, that's crazy. So I
Mm.
definitely expect that if they go head to head, Cat would come out of that alive and way better. So we shall see.
Yeah, it's definitely getting interesting. Knicks beat the Sixers. Sixers didn't show up,
Yeah.
but Sixers, in my opinion, should have not even beaten Boston Celtics. They should have not gotten past Boston Celtics. You know, Tatum probably could have had a game or two, another game or so of rest, couple days rest, maybe played again this season. But Boston Celtics, they were just chucking up threes. Like they
Mhm.
had plenty of like shots where they just wasted it on threes. Derek White kept on chucking threes and wasn't hitting anything in the last game. He was cold. I mean, listen, if threes aren't working, you need to move that ball around, get inside the paint, go for layups, try to draw fouls, and play some good traditional basketball. But otherwise, they wasted possessions. I think the stat was very alarming. It was like 7 for 30 behind three. I'm like, okay, what are we gonna? So that team lives and dies by the three.
Yeah,
But I think um, Celtics could have won that series. It would have posed a little bit more of a problem for the Knicks than Sixers did, but Knicks would have probably beaten the Celtics anyway.
yeah,
So
especially a hurt Celtics team at that point.
yeah. But we are coming off of somewhat busy WWE weekends. A lot of takeaways. What did you think of Backlash on Saturday?
Backlash. Sorry.
Backlash.
Yes. Um, I was able to see a few of the highlights. I tried to find it on a stream, and then I was also watching UFC. So another, yeah, just crazy combat weekend as well. Um, but yeah, I was. I mean, everything kind of made sense. It's still cool to see Lil Yachty. Trick Williams deserves the belt. The dude is awesome. I definitely figured Roman was going to keep it. Uh, what else am I missing from that weekend?
How about we had the match with Io and Asuka,
Yes. Oh my
and we
god, the
saw
mist and then
Asuka
blocking it
kind
with the
of.
notebook. Oh my god, that was great.
Yes, that was a good spot.
And then I guess we can kind of speak raw moment later of what happened there.
Yeah, because it ties right in. Because we saw on Backlash, we saw Asuka show a major sign of respect because Io, basically Asuka's protege, Io defeated Asuka in what was a really good match. I mean, Backlash. There was a lot of wrestling time on this less than a 3 hour show than there was on WrestleMania for a 4 hour show.
I saw that.
Yeah, crazy. So
Yeah.
I was very satisfied um, with the ratio of time that was given towards the matches for Backlash.
Well, we also can't account for Danhausen and the Minihausens, or actually, I don't remember the interview of who did it, but canon name is I think Mr. Bebo. I don't know. Yeah, it was a random interview. I'd have to look later, but
Mm.
he was like the guy was like, yeah, you had you cloned him, but he ended up not being 100% you. And he came out as Minihausen. He goes, or what's his name? And he goes, Mr. Bebo. And I was like, what in the world? Like, so yeah, but that was like definitely a 12-minute match. That was funny, and I didn't think that was gonna happen at all.
I was amused. You know who Minihausen was, right?
I did see that as well. It was Del Toro from that tag team. I can't remember the name
El
of it.
Toro. Yeah,
Del
they were
Toro, yeah.
with the Colognes.
Yes, correct. Was it the
Yeah,
Clones?
pretty sure it was.
Right.
Pretty sure it was. And then I don't know if you remember, they had the. I think they had the. I think he was a part of the WLC in New Jersey back in 2014.
Yes, I do remember that.
And that was him, like he because I remember him being a midget, but not being, but he's kind of like on the taller spectrum of midget. But it was kind of like it looked like just like him. But he can work.
Mm-hmm. He definitely moved.
Let me tell you, Miz sold so properly for Danhausen and Minihausen.
Hey, I don't care. Danhausen being undefeated is just exactly what you need right now.
Yeah, honestly, like it's been like really good. It's been fun comic relief entertainment. Like you haven't had R-Truth on TV in a while. You've had well, I shouldn't say that. You haven't had him on TV in like 2 weeks, but he's mostly on SmackDown now. Um, and you've had Tozawa on once every the last 4 weeks or so. So Danhausen's been basically the featured guy of WWE Comic Relief.
Oh, I'll give you comic relief, and we'll start talking Raw because we are already 16 minutes in. But here's my comic relief of the week, Paul. Paul, can we fire Logan Paul? I can't get it out of my head, but it's so good. But that is exactly how we started tonight. So, sir, you want to get into some Raw and talk how we started tonight?
Yes.
Or
So
last night, I should say.
let's go right in because we had the um, Roman shows up backstage and he's with Adam Pierce, and Adam Pierce is considering firing Fatu for what Fatu did at Backlash. As you guys know, obviously Roman retained at Backlash. He retained the belt, but afterwards Jacob Fatu had snapped on Roman Reigns, and you had to have a big pull apart to get Fatu off of Roman, and then Fatu holding the belt and what have you. So that's how Raw Backlash goes off the air. Roman's still the champ, but this starts carrying over to Monday night, where Roman Reigns demands and tells Adam Pearce, "Hey, listen, um, I'm the one that brought him here, and I'll be the one to take him out." And also, Roman wants Jacob Fatu to acknowledge him as well. So
Mm.
we get to the main event. Well, let's just say main event segment. And Jacob Fatu comes out. Roman's already in the ring. And they just go right at it. But before this happened, Jacob Fatu takes out both the Usos. So the Usos are done. They were made to look like they were made to look weak here. Very weak. Jacob Fatu comes to the ring, and they are in an all-out brawl to close out Monday Night Raw. You're all-out brawl, and Jacob Fatu, Roman are going at it, and then at some point Roman goes to the table. And Jacob Fatu's putting on the Tongan death grip multiple times on Roman. And just when you thought that Fatu was pulled apart and going away and the show is going off the air, you see Jacob Fatu turn around and run to the corner of ringside where the bell and timekeeper are, and Roman and Usos all happen to be standing in front of the barrier, and Jacob Fatu takes them all out, putting them all through the barrier, takes them all out in one shot. What did
Yeah.
you think of this whole segment?
No, that was cool. I'm just I I don't know how to feel exactly about the Tongan death grip. Excuse me.
They're selling the heck out of it,
That's the
and I'm
thing
not mad
is
at it.
it's it's just that Roman, like, you know what? No, it's fine because Roman is a Superman in himself using the Superman punch multiple times. So I get why it's taking like four death grips in a row to kind of keep him down. But with the name like Death Grip, it seems like that should be like a one and done type thing. Like you shouldn't be able to talk after it. You shouldn't be able to breathe after it. Like you should be out. So you
I,
know,
I mean, you could also suspend it to your belief that you know Roman's fighting it, and maybe he didn't have it on good enough, or you know.
but yeah, I immediately saw that as a way of helping the guys who have to break down the barricade for another event get out of there quicker.
So this is where we're at. Jacob Fatu was standing tall. Did you see him licking the belt? By the way,
No.
so like Fatu was like licking the belt last night, like the bottom edge of it, like of the gold,
Uh,
and then it was all over like Instagram and Facebook today of the IWC posting photos of when CM Punk wore the WWE the World Heavyweight Championship over his private area
yes. Oh
to
my
cover
god.
cover it up to try to do like a Becky Lynch spoof. I don't know if you saw that photo. So like Punk had nothing on but the World Heavyweight title, and then you see Jacob, you see Jacob licking it.
There you go. There is in fact.
Oh
However,
man! So
he
where do we
did
go? Where do we go with Jacob Fatu here and the Usos?
he did also do this with the United States Championship. So I
Yeah,
guess that's just a thing he enjoys doing is licking the titles.
yeah.
But also, it is kind of funny because Logan Paul did it naked with that. So he has been licking naked belts. So yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this anymore.
Oh man. So where do we go with Jacob Fatu here?
I
Going next,
guess
because it looks like this isn't gonna end. I'm assuming we're getting another match at Clash of Champions or
yeah.
Saturday Night's main event.
No, it's probably gonna be main event, I guess. But are they really gonna? They're gonna have to do it in like Hell in a Cell or some nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, because Roman Reigns has gone on record saying that, um, he's gonna, um, he wants to put over, like, help put over his family, specifically Jacob Fatu, before he goes away. So I don't think this is like Roman Reigns is like on his way out kind of thing, but like just like over like the next couple years, like Jacob he wants to kind of put Jacob Fatu, get Fatu over and get Solo over and stuff like that, even more so than what they are now. But from what I'm seeing, like I just don't think I think Oba Femi is gonna be the guy to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. But I'm sorry, Oba Femi is gonna be the guy to face Roman Reigns this SummerSlam in Minnesota. So I just don't see Jacob Fatu winning because I suspect that there are different plans for Roman Reigns for the summertime.
Huh. Yeah. It's so tough to
I mean,
see where they're gonna go.
unless they give Jacob Fatu the belt and have Jacob Fatu versus Oba Femi at SummerSlam, but I don't think they really go that route. I think they because Jacob Fatu is kind of like the future, and Roman Reigns is kind of like the now. So you can save Oba versus Jacob Fatu and save Oba against Braun Breaker, and you could save those fantasy matchups for future shows and Oba versus Cody. But Roman's like the now, and I think you probably want to go the route of giving Oba Femi the heavyweight championship instead of the WWE title. So I would think that Oba versus Roman's the way to go, which means that this Jacob Fatu Roman Reigns feud would have to end at Clash of Italy,
Hmm. Yeah, probably.
or come to a little bit of a pause or something.
Yeah, right. Like, but that's where I think who else takes them on? Like you said, like how do they write any of this into that? So yeah, I'd say probably Clash at Italy. When is Clash at Italy?
True, May 31st, I think.
Yeah. So no, I think that's screw Saturday main event. That's probably where they do Fatu and Roman one more time.
Yeah, and Saturday night's main event, I believe, is like, if I'm not mistaken, next Memorial Day weekend. Like everything's just coming up really close.
Yes, you are correct. It is
Yeah, everything's coming
not
close.
this Saturday. Saturday after.
But that's where we're at with Roman and Jacob right now. So while we're talking about it, let's bring it up. Oba Femi has his Oba Femi. Uh, what do they call it? Oba Femi Open Challenge,
Hmm.
and nobody comes out, and everyone's wondering like, what's going on here? So Oba's, he's getting a little restless, and Adam Pearce comes out and he's saying, unfortunately, the Oba challenge has been canceled because nobody's answered the challenge, and like Oba Femi just flips, and I'm loving it. He's running, he's going to the back. He grabs the first two people that he sees as wrestlers, whom happen to be Angel Garza and Umberto. Uh, drags them to the ring and forces them into a match, and it just obliterates both Umberto and Angel Garza. Oh my gosh, this was so fun. I'm not gonna lie. I was loving every bit of this. I do not hear you.
So, oh, sorry. Yeah, it's the multiple bikes going down the road that I just keep muting myself. So sorry. Uh, I feel like I'm a little indifferent about this now because it's bringing me back to 2010 WWE where it was just jobbers versus a big dude. So like when Mark Henry would first come around as this big, huge, ginormous guy, he would just, and Great Khali and Big Show and everything. Like they're going up against these jobbers and everything. Now a handicap match, I totally understand. Like I would be a little bit better into it if they started writing that sort of way, where you know, like Angel and Berto, they asked for opportunities. So now there's an opportunity, an open challenge, and nobody goes out to take it. Like, and then apparently, and later on, we find out from Michael Cole that it's going to continue now. So nobody answered it the first time, and now it's going to just magically continue the week after. What are they doing here?
Yeah, I know. I think it's great to have Obafemi for a little while come out and have these squash matches and beat the heck out of people. And because back in the 80s and 90s, especially, like almost every single match on every show was an enhancement talent match, and then you get one major match of whatever it would be, right? So, but every match was like a jobber match. So, and that's what it was. It was to enhance the talents to help get them over. So this is kind of what they're doing in a way. Um, but the psychological part of it, with no one's gonna answer, nobody answered the challenge this week, but then they're gonna advertise another one for next week. That part of it doesn't make sense. Just they're it's just kind of like overcomplicating the storyline a little bit. But the fact that Obafemi is coming out and obliterating people, the fans are eating it up, as you can see. Let me tell you, that Tennessee crowd sucked last night for the most part. But
Yeah,
they were into it. Everybody was doing the strut, and
that was one of the
Oba's
only
so over.
things.
He's so
Oh
over.
yeah, that was one of the only things that I really caught a lot of the crowd doing
Yeah,
was
especially at
the Obi
WrestleMania.
stuff.
You see the WrestleMania highlights of Oba coming down the ramp. The whole stadium,
The whole stadium's
the
doing it.
whole stadium, including myself, was doing the strut.
But yeah, no, like you said, Tennessee last night was not into it, and
No,
honestly, I was not really into Raw. They didn't get me into it, but even then, it was a lot more of the soap opera nonsense.
It was a halfway decent show
Yeah.
considering where it was, and we were lucky to have Roman Reigns on the show considering where it was. But
You guys are gonna get me for AEW, and I will definitely watch the post show tomorrow, and that's gonna be my first AEW watch in a while. But I just got to see if they have a better wrestling product because
I mean,
I can't.
AEW's definitely got a better wrestling product.
Okay, I need to watch wrestling for wrestling again because I'm not into this soap opera nonsense. These grown ass people having BS arguments. Like, this isn't wrestling. Sorry, I sound like a grumpy old person. I understand it because obviously back in the day, some of the best promo cutters are the guys that were good at wrestling. So I get cutting a promo. I get it.
Yeah,
It doesn't have to be the whole goddamn show because then I'm also filled with advertisements. Give me
yeah.
some freaking wrestling. So
Well, thankfully, Backlash kind of fixed that, and hopefully
yeah,
that will change, especially when you have your major shows, SummerSlam and WrestleMania. That's going to come around the corner again before you know it. So
right.
hopefully, yesterday, Backlash pay per view was the welcome changed.
hmm
But um,
Six matches of 15 to 25 minutes is perfect.
yeah, so AEW has a great wrestling product, but then their problem is like over like they have 5 hour pay per views. They have
hmm
matches that don't even belong on pay per views. Like Triple H has got it right. Like a 3 hour pay per view is easy to take in. Like Backlash was so easy to take in.
True.
That was probably the perfect as perfect as you're gonna get. Um, but AEW's roster is so much bigger. You can see people 1 week and not see people for another few weeks. It's crazy over there. They don't. I feel like their dynamites are pretty good, um, but their pay per views they need to leave a little more breathing space. Not as the amount of breathing space that we saw at WrestleMania in between matches, but AEW's got to leave some breathing space in between their matches for sure. Give time to breathe. Maybe cut down the pay per view because AEW pay per views starting at 8 o'clock and ending at 1 o'clock in the morning honestly just doesn't work for me, which is why we haven't done a lot of AEW post shows. But the Dynamite's been pretty good. I mean, they had a collision where it was in the middle of a golf stadium.
I saw that. I
Yeah.
wanted to watch that. I'm gonna have to check it out because I randomly saw uh, the artist formerly known as Neville. I don't know what his name is over there.
I have to think about that for a second. Oh, the bastard Pac.
Love that.
Yeah, I
Um,
just don't like his short hair.
yeah,
Dumb.
but
He's like an idiot.
he's now a Dorito chip, just don't built up here.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I randomly saw him running past a bunker, and I was like, "What in the world?" So I definitely need to check that out. I think it was against Rikishi, maybe Rikishi. Did I really just say Rikishi?
Darby Allen.
Ricochet. It was Darby Allen. Okay,
Darby Allen. Yeah, it was actually a title defense.
so I might have seen another clip of Ricochet at that same event. I was just so confused, but I'm definitely gonna have to check the highlights or see where that's at.
So before we move on, let's close out the Oba Femi thing. So like he's over, and I would expect this to happen right after Clash of Italy. I would expect an announcement for the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring tournament to take place, in which Oba Femi would win. Again, we'll be getting away from the open challenges to get into more meaningful matches. King of the Ring tournament, Oba would win. Then he becomes number one contender, chooses Roman Reigns um, for championship match at SummerSlam. This would be the Brock Lesnar build of 2002. So this would, because right now everything that I'm seeing is mirroring what Brock Lesnar did in 2002. So
hmm
that's what I'm expecting. So let's talk about another announcement that took place, and we'll finish up with Raw right after this. John Cena's big announcement.
Yes, the Cena special.
This was supposed to change course of WWE.
It sounds like it might for a few individuals. So that was pretty cool.
So you're gonna introduce a championship. It's not a championship that would be regularly defended. It would be like probably similar to that of a crown jewel championship.
Mhm.
Instead of be the John Cena Classic winner, which means you can still lose on this particular event and still be the champion of the event.
Oh
How does that
yes.
make any sense?
Um, you have to have the perfect amount of style and flair while also winning, which is stupid. But I mean, that's the way that American Idol worked for champions is people voted. It wasn't always for the best singer. It was for, whoever people had the most favoritism for.
So apparently people are going to be. So apparently, if you lose, you can still have a good showing and lose and end up winning the event.
Yeah.
And it's going to be NXT guys versus the main roster guys.
Hmm.
So
Uh, can you give me any NXT guys to check out before that starts? Any big names that you enjoy watching?
So they haven't really announced any, and they haven't announced any of the competitors yet. But who would I expect to see? I think we could probably expect to see Miles Bourne get an opportunity.
Is that the deaf one?
Yeah.
I think he's dating Stephanie Vicaire.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
One that one that doesn't speak halfway coherent English, and the other who doesn't speak halfway coherent English. I don't even know how that one works out. How do they understand each other?
Hey,
Sorry, I'm
listen,
fucked.
Miles
I'm
Bourne's an
messed up.
attractive dude, and she's an attractive woman. Bam.
I
But
can't imagine how their
no, he
drive-through
he
order
can he
goes.
can
I'm really
hear. I
messed
think
up in the head.
it's just
I'm sorry.
mostly like a speech type of thing that he's got
Yes.
going on.
Isn't he deaf? Or
That are partially,
okay, makes sense.
but Miles Bourne is definitely one that they can. I would honestly have to look at this NXT roster because a lot of the guys that I would think of that would definitely be on this um, John Cena Classic,
Hmm.
a lot of them just got called up. So
Makes
let's take a
sense.
look. I am actually. Okay, so I would say Tony D'Angelo will probably be in it.
I have heard that name. Okay,
Yeah, Tony D'Angelo. I would expect Miles Bourne, possibly Lexis King.
I've
I
seen
would
that. Okay,
say, let's see here, NXT. Um,
who's that Chase U guy? Or no?
he's not with WWE anymore.
Really? Wow.
I would see Regal. I would expect maybe Regal's son, Dempsey, to be a part of this tournament. Jackson Drake. He's a good athlete, and he gives me young Randy Orton vibes from like 2001, 2002. Like Randy Orton, except Jackson Drake's definitely got better hair now than what Randy did in 2001. His hair was ridiculous. Um, but Jackson Drake, definitely a big, probably going to be a big part of this. Maybe, maybe Obafemi 2.0, Keanu Carver possibly. Um, and then you have Evil from New Japan that just came up, so he can possibly be in this tournament. Um, yeah, that's who. Whatever I just mentioned right now, it seems to be probably the guys that I would expect. And then you'll have like your Javon Evans and maybe Ricky Saints, in there, and who knows, maybe Oba. But yeah, so we'll see. Nothing's been announced, but it's supposed to be like a one night event. So I'm thinking maybe that could. I'm thinking maybe that'd be part of the Madison Square Garden Saturday Night's main event. But who knows? Who knows what the rules are gonna be, and what have you. Maybe it'd be like a week long thing, like a both a Raw and SmackDown type of thing.
Hmm. How
Which I
nice.
think would be pretty cool because you can get fresh faces up on Raw and SmackDown and kind of just see what these NXT guys got. And if you really think about it, some of these matches might be like a tryout for future call ups too, to see how they're gonna do on TV. So there's a lot of good that can come out of it. Just doesn't make sense how you can be a champion and still lose. But moving on. So that was John Cena's big announcement from Backlash. Getting back to Asuka, the status of Asuka, as you saw, we alluded to before, she was backstage with Io, says goodbye to Io, um, and you see Asuka leaving with the suitcase and everything, saying Asuka's proud of her, and Asuka said that you're the one person. I'm glad it's you that it's taking my spot. So apparently, um, Asuka's not leaving. She's not retiring. Um, that we know of, but Asuka is going home for a little while to take care of some personal business back home in Japan. So hopefully everything's okay with her or her family or whatever's going on over there. So it seems to me this is a leave of absence that for Asuka shouldn't have anything to do with any of the rumored contracts being cut 50% for when wrestlers were supposedly being asked to take pay cuts um, a week or so ago. So I don't believe Asuka is a part of that. This looks like this is just a leave of absence for Asuka.
Hmm. That would make sense. Or she goes to SmackDown and tries to whoop somebody into SmackDown
I mean, I
because
think,
now she's leaving Kyrie Sane behind,
yeah,
which is kind of upsetting. So
yeah. This is definitely a legit um, leave of absence for sure with Asuka. Um, when she comes back, couldn't even tell you. But I would say it's possible we would see Asuka back probably within the next 6 months, maybe by Royal Rumble, probably. But and we see the Vision on Monday Night Raw. Rollins ambushed Braun Breaker, causing the Vision to lose. So that's continuing. And then there's heat between Dawkins and Seth Rollins. And then we see Seth Rollins kind of put Dawkins in a way. And Braun Breaker spears Dawkins. And that leads to confrontation. And we see a little bit of pushing with Montez Ford and Seth Rollins, which that actually, I did not mind that. I would like to see a match with Seth Rollins and Montez Ford and see a little feud between them because they're getting in each other's way and trying to take out the vision that they are coming against themselves. I would love to see Montez Ford in a singles program with Seth Rollins. What do you think?
that would be very cool because I feel like there would be that element of like respect there, and I feel like, hmm, nah, I feel like that would definitely work because if Seth wins, he kind of shows that like, hey, I don't need anybody, and if Montez wins, it just elevates him a little higher. So I could see that happening eventually, if not in the near future.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. We have plenty of time. We do know. I think there was a tag team title match that was announced, and I think that was Street Profits versus um, the Vision, which is going to be a Saturday Night's main event.
You are correct, sir.
Yep. Penta and All Ego, Ethan Page have a war of words. Ethan Page challenges Penta for the IC title at Saturday Night's main event. Penta says anytime the match is made, they will be fighting at Saturday Night's main event, which I'm very excited for. It is possible. I mean, honestly, I love Penta, but I think I'm ready to see that title change. And I think Ethan Page gets the title here. We saw Rusev coming out having a big problem with this, but he hasn't won any matches lately. I mean, he was on the winning team with Ethan Page last week, but he wasn't the one that got the win. But he is taking credit for taking everybody out. Um, but anyway, Rusev faced Javon Evans, and Javon Evans beats Rusev, which was a pretty good match on Raw. Um, Javon Evans wins with the OG cutter, so Rusev loses once again. I'm glad we're seeing more Rusev on TV. Um, but
But they're making him a loser. So what's the difference?
yeah, and you can't have Rusev challenge for the IC title and keep losing matches on his way to facing the IC. I don't believe in losing matches to get a title shot. I believe in winning matches to get a title shot.
Hmm.
So, like Nikki Bella lost all summer and they got a title shot, and which just didn't make sense when Roxanne Perez was winning matches and she never got a title shot. How make that make sense? I don't get that.
Eh,
So it
I
doesn't
guess.
make sense. So if Rusev is going to get a title shot, let's just Triple H from Creative has got to make it make sense where Rusev is picking up a couple wins here. So Javon Evans gets the win. I would imagine that Javon Evans will probably be one of the next to challenge for the IC title after this match between Penta and Ethan Page, which will take place at Saturday's main event.
I fear as though Rusev is going to come out at Saturday night, and then Evans is going to come out, and then we're going to get a fatal, no DQ fatal four way at Clash of Italy.
Which would be wild because if that happens and then Rusev wins, it's just basically he's losing every single match, right?
Right.
Losing every single match on the way to that happening and gets rewarded a fatal four way because he interferes in another match.
And that's just, I agree with you 100%. That's just
It's
how,
almost like wins
yeah,
and losses don't matter when it comes to creative.
which makes absolutely no sense to me. Well, the only reason I get it is they're kind of like in the past business. So like Rusev has been a champion. He's been in the WWE collectively for close to a decade now. So not to say he deserves it for losing matches. You're 100% right on that. But I guess he deserves it for, being a brawler and a winner for the past 10 years, or maybe not winning, but at least being a half decent wrestler. So, yeah, I don't know. I definitely agree with you. Losing and getting rewarded makes no sense.
Roxanne and Raquel lay waste to Paige and Brie Bella last night as a result of Liv Morgan jumping Paige in the ring while um, Paige and Brie Bella were face to face with Roxanne and Raquel. They had their back turned. Liv Morgan attacks Paige from behind, and she took that Oblivion. Was it the Oblivion or whatever, that backstabber move? Paige took that so well, let me
Yeah.
tell you. But laid waste, and Raquel and Roxanne are going to be next in line to challenge for the tag titles, which I believe was next scheduled for next week, if I'm not mistaken. So I believe we saw that scheduled for next week on Raw. It what looks like a week or two ago that Roxanne and Raquel and Liv, that there was dissension there with Judgment Day. It looks like there's a united front right now, and that um, Roxanne and Raquel could very well become the new WWE Women's Tag Champions and stand with Liv Morgan as champion. Dominic with your Mega Championship. Now all you gotta do is get that belt on JD. Get like an IC title belt on him or something to that effect, and then you'll have everybody in Judgment Day as champions before at some point they dismember, whenever that might be. Who knows?
Well, I did hear, as we will talk, I soon rather later, whenever, um, that one of the Grande Americanos has a chance at the Mega Championship because they won something, which I think it's the Ludwig Americana because we saw uh, the Gable Americano tonight.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything about El Grande Americano with the title shot. I haven't heard anything about that yet. Um, but speaking of which, I mean, we'll jump right into it. Um, Dominic Mysterio. I think the Grandes were in an interview and Judgment Day pulled up. They had a little bit of words, and then Adam Pearce made the match for Dominic Mysterio to take on OG Grande, aka Chad Gable, um, to for Dominic to defend his title against OG Americano, and this is the first time ever that the Mega Championship, Triple A Mega Championship, is being defended on WWE programming, Raw specifically. Um, so they had a match, and they had a good match, but we see OG Grande was distracted by El Grande Americano. Um, on Mexican soil, they're not allowed to be touching until May 30th, but apparently that rule does not apply on American soil.
Mm.
Dominic Stereo hits the 619 on OG El Grande because the OG El Grande was distracted by El Grande, and Dominic wins with the Frog Splash. This further sets up and plays into the feud, to the big match that we're getting on May 30th, whatever that Saturday is, the day before Clash, where we're going to get El Grande versus OG Grande. That match has been announced for past 2 months now, and we're finally going to be getting that. OG Grande versus El Grande Americano. Somebody's mask is coming off,
Mhm.
and I'm just interested to see whose mask is going to come off and where we go next after that.
I did find that as well. Um, Ludwig Americano won the Ride de Reyes 2 months ago, and he earned a future AAA Mega Championship match. So he hasn't cashed that in yet.
Gotcha. So I would probably expect that maybe a Triple Mania,
Correct. Which now
which is
must
still a
also.
little ways away though, but it's in September.
Oh, that is a little far. But that also means that the mask versus mask, if they need, if that, I don't think that's happened yet. If that hasn't happened yet,
May 30th.
you would expect that Ludwig would keep the mask so that he can fight, I guess, whoever has the belt then.
Yeah.
So I guess I might have just had a major breakthrough spoiler.
Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, honestly, like let's call it what it is. Ludwig Kaiser's done an amazing job as El Grande Americano. I mean, what was supposed to be a joke and what was supposed to be like a temporary thing, it just turned into something bigger than what we expected. I mean, El Grande Americano's done very good. Um, Wondering when we're gonna get the action figure out for that because I might consider getting that. To be honest. But
Hmm.
let's take a look. Um, Sol Ruka versus EO. Sol Ruka looks pretty good here. Good match. Sol Ruka has had, even though she's lost, a couple times already since being on the main roster. She's had some good matches here, but now you are coming to a point where you're feuding with Becky Lynch, and you still have not won any matches on the main roster yet. So she's got to get some wins here to make it believable as a possibility of Sol Ruka beating Becky Lynch to make this make sense.
Yeah.
To make it make sense that Sol Ruka even belongs as the number one contender to Becky Lynch. So she's looked very good here. Um, she had a cartwheel into a DDT off the top rope yesterday.
That was crazy.
That was, and then the finish was Io Sky avoids the Soul Snatcher and then pins Sol Ruka. And then they had a great show of respect with each other, so that was good to see. Um, so you had that. We have to talk about another thing really quick. And we brought this up in the podcast, and we brought this up probably before any podcast even mentioned it, to the fact that Maxine has been seen in the background talking to Austin Theory in the Vision for a couple weeks now.
That
Like
happened
deep in the
again. I keep
background.
missing it.
Like it's happened like 3 times already. And we see, like, if you're paying attention to what's also going on in the background, you see Maxine talking to the Vision. So it was made a little bit more obvious yesterday when Jackie Redmond was interviewing um, Austin Theory, and you see Maxine in the passenger seat of when Austin Theory was about to get into his SUV.
Really?
Like, it was kind of quick, but it was enough. There was enough camera time on that moment where they showed Maxine. Maxine didn't look directly into the camera, but she kind of tilted her head towards a little bit and then went back to her head being buried in the phone, just waiting in the passenger seat. It was all but like a 2 second moment.
Oh wow.
So, um,
You think we got our first woman joining the Vision, turning heel?
yeah, I mean, it's becoming slightly more obvious now that Maxine is obviously talking to the Vision and hanging out with them. Could Maxine be the first Paul Heyman girl? We'll have to find out. I know Jordan Grace has been on the IWC and social media saying that she's been pushing to be the first ever Paul Heyman girl. I mean, looks like Maxine is the favorite right now, unless something changes. But she's definitely been hanging out with the Vision, and we'll have to see where we go with that. Very, very interesting. They have not officially started any storytelling with that yet. They've just been showing Maxine with Austin Theory a number of times. So,
Very cool.
yeah, very, very, very interesting for sure. Let's see what else we got here. That basically covers everything that I wanted to cover tonight. Brandon, as we start coming in towards a close, anything that you want to add to this show as far as what happened with Raw or Backlash that we need to cover?
Um, I
Of
think we got
importance,
a
that
bunch.
is.
What's up?
Of importance.
Oh no, I think you definitely got mostly everything. Um, trying to go through. We saw Bruto and Julio Credo again. Stupid.
Yeah, see, that's the other thing, too, is like they just brought them out, and if Chad Gable loses the mass versus mass match, then will Bruto and Julio have to unveil their masks too? Like, or are they just gonna squash it for just after 4 weeks of them being on TV? Like, I'm wondering where they're gonna go with that.
Yeah, definitely like you said. I'm a little confused on that whole thing, but I understand them trying to make it an even fight, which is perfect. So do what they had to do. I think that was it. Oh, Jackie Redmond is now called Wacky Redmond.
Oh yeah.
Insane.
Oh, by
Uh,
the way,
yes.
I have to hit up LA Knight girl and be like, yo, where's your boy? Where's your boy, LA Knight? Where's he been?
Yeah, right. In that, well,
I wonder if LA Knight is one of the talents that was asked to possibly take a pay cut.
he had to be.
Because like he's not injured that we know of. Like he hasn't been on TV in 3 weeks now.
I guess the only thing that he was really doing was sewing around and visioning around. But now the Vision have their own problems with Seth and Joe Hendry and the Street
Joe
Profits.
Hendry basically kind of took LA Knight's spot if you really think about it.
Yeah, absolutely. But he got the crowd going, and he has a song on Spotify that probably has hundreds of listens,
Yeah.
if not thousands already.
Oh, and by the way, there's big news that like any content creators for Instagram or social media content creators supposedly can't use clips anymore as part of content creation on and that WWE of course because of TKO has banned are banning and various social media accounts that do it. So,
Does that make sense?
but then I'm finding out that there's also the possibility that the people that are doing it and getting banned for it are overusing it and or overusing that ability to like once the show ends they're posting clips right away and they're doing it too much and it flags the system where TKO works to get it removed. We've done it 2 or 3 times and that's it. And sometimes as far as when I do it on my end, it takes a little while to line up everything and create the dual videos and stuff like that. So whenever we do it, it's usually a couple days after the fact. But somehow, a lot of these content creators, they've been doing it for such a long time now. They make these videos like so quick, and then they post it up quick, and they post a number of them, and it is a lot of accounts are now getting flagged recently for that. So um, that's news coming out of TKO again. So
Well, of course. Which makes no sense because the only way to actually spread anything is through media and content. And they go, nah, we're just going to gatekeep everything.
yeah, yeah, it's getting
What
ridiculous.
smart individuals at TKO? Total nonsense organization is what I call them.
Those of you
And yes,
guys,
nonsense spelled wrong.
oh yeah, it's becoming. There's a lot of nonsense coming out of TKO right now. It's not even WWE's fault, but those of you guys that are watching, so we will be back tomorrow night. Myself and Shiv will be back covering AEW Dynamites. This will be Shiv's second show with us. We will be live at 10:30 p.m. tomorrow night, and also be on the lookout. We are partnered up with Fanatics to sell WWE merch through our website. So be on the lookout for that because when you buy WWE product through our Fanatics promo code, you guys will get a discount. I don't know exactly how much that discount is yet, but you guys will get a discount. So that is in the works right now as we speak. Um, so we got tomorrow's show. Throughout the week, we're going to be posting clips of tonight's show and tomorrow's show. So be on the lookout for that. Memorial Day weekend, we're giving ourselves the week off. We want everybody to enjoy Memorial Week. I'll be creating content and have that already be rolled out, but we will not be reviewing any shows Memorial Day weekend. We need time off. We want to have fun too. Well, we have fun doing this, but you guys know what I mean. Um, we're just not going to have time to sit in front of a camera Memorial Day weekend. I will personally be in Boston for a Red Sox game and then golfing in Boston for a couple days, quote unquote, giving myself a nice couple days of mental health rejuvenation, so to speak. So you got to give yourself some time. So, but
Clock it.
we will have content rolling out mostly for shorts during that week though, so we don't stay stagnant. But we will not be live for Memorial Day weekend.
Enjoy that stuff, good sir.
Yes,
We should
and
talk in between that, I believe.
yeah, we'll basically have one more live show, and then Memorial Weekend we will be off, and then back up and running. As I believe, in my opinion, we'll probably be talking about King of the Ring. So by the time the beginning of June rolls around after Clash of Italy, but we'll be back for Clash of Italy for sure. That Sunday we'll be reviewing that show. And I think the day before, was it the day before? The day before is the AAA. Who knows? Maybe we'll do our first ever AAA post show. So that has never been done. So we'll have to look into that. But I guess that's it, guys. We will be back tomorrow night with AEW post show. And those of you guys that are watching, make sure you guys, if you're listening via iPod, I'm sorry, I am butchering this ending like you wouldn't believe. If you are listening through iTunes podcast or Spotify, make sure you guys go onto our YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you guys give us a like, comment. If you're watching through Instagram, find us on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. This will help us out. And Brandon, those of you guys that are watching, thank you so much for hopping on, and we will see you guys tomorrow night talking AEW Dynamite. Talking AEW Dynamite tomorrow night.
Agility from the champion.